friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to talk to you about my TBR for the upcoming Cozweek readathon that is hosted by Courtney over at Cortagonist. And I just recently found out about this readathon. Well, I had found out about it last year too, but it wasn't on my radar this year until after I had done my entire Jane Austen July TBR. And then Courtney put out her announcement video and I was like, oh, well, I need to participate in that. so, so I'm adding some more books to my list. And I just found out that I will be going back to work full-time in the office starting tomorrow. So July is going to be very interesting as far as my reading is concerned. So anyway, let's just get right into things, shall we? Because I am on a 15-minute break and I need to move this along. Courtney has developed a bingo card for us that I will put up right here. And we will just go through some of the book prompts. Now, the nice thing about Courtney's bingo card is that some of them are not necessarily book related. Well, they're book related, but they don't require you to read a specific book. They are just like read outside, read with a coffee or a tea, that kind of thing, which I will totally be doing as long as it's still sunny by the time I get home from work. So anyway, and this readathon runs from the 1st through the 7th of July. So I can definitely read outside on the weekend, if nothing else, right? Sure. Okay, so let's just talk about what I am going to be reading for the reading portions of the prompts. So prompt number 1 is to read a baking cozy. And I have 2 choices for this. And the first one is going right along with the prompt and also will fit my Jane Austen July TBR, kinda. And that is going to be, I hope you can see this, I'm doing this old school way, but Pies and Prejudice by Ellery Adams. And I was not really sure what I was going to read for this, so I was scrolling through baking cozies on Goodreads, and that's what came up. And I was like, oh, Jane Austen July adjacent. I'm doing it. So that is my first one. I don't know anything about it other than the title sounds Pride and Prejudice adjacent, so I'll be surprised. But also, I am going to cheat just a little bit and read a book that is not specifically a baking cozy, but there is a lot of baking and eating of baked goods done in this series. And that is my good old standby, Dahlias and Death by London Lovett. And this is the 6th in the Port Namby series. And as you might be able to guess, it is set around the 4th of July, which it will be the 4th of July during this readathon. So my thought is I'm going to actually try to read this during that weekend and maybe even the whole of the 4th of July. But I do have some socially distant plans on the 4th of July. So I don't know if I'll get this all read on the 4th, but we will try. The next prompt is one that I thought I would have the hardest time with, and that is to read a sci-fi cozy. And I actually had to message Courtney on Instagram and say, hey, can you give me a recommendation for this? Because I really have no idea. I've never even heard of a sci-fi cozy. I'm not a sci-fi reader, and I don't know. So she gave me a couple of options, and the one I picked is actually one that I will be able to use for the Kindle Unlimited prompt because these were only able to be found on Kindle Unlimited, I signed up for a free trial. So I will be reading Andorra Pet and the Orf Cloud Cafe. I think I got that right. And the Ort Cloud Cafe by Richard D. And I just think this cover looks just so fun. It's vintage and it kind of gives me the Jetsons vibe. and it just sounds really cute. And I don't really know much about it other than I think it takes place on Saturn. Probably, I think that's Saturn, right? And um, this girl, Andorra Pet, is opening up a cafe, I think, with her sister, maybe. So I don't know much about this one either, but it looks really cute. So I'm excited to read this one. But also, if I have time for it, which I may or may not, I will be reading something that is sci-fi, but yet also goes with my Jane Austen July. And it is not a cozy mystery by any means, but it would it's kind of anything Jane Austen related is cozy to me. So I might be picking up For Darkness Shows the Stars. And my friend Carolyn over at Carolyn's Reading Ramblings suggested this one to me as a persuasion retelling, which, if you watch my Jane Austen July TBR, you would know that I am theming my reading around persuasion this year. So this is sci-fi. It's not necessarily a cozy, but I might try to read it. Oh, and also I should mention that one of the prompts is to read a new to me author, and that would definitely be both Richard D. for Andorra Pet and Ellery Adams, because I don't think that I have ever read anything by Ellery Adams before. And I know that's a pen name to Ellie Alexander, I believe, but I also haven't read anything by Ellie Alexander. I know Courtney's going to be so mad that I haven't read anything by her before, because that's like her favorite cozy author. But I'm correcting that now because I'm going to read her. And the last prompt that I actually had the hardest time with is one that I'm cheating on kind of a lot. And that is to read a new release. And I honestly did not want to buy a Kindle copy of a new release cozy, because they are just as much as buying a regular copy of a book. And I don't really like to just buy books at full price just to buy them. Like I have to know that it's an author that I already like, or it's a cover that I really want on my shelves or something like that. So I was having kind of a hard time with this, but I do have a book that I wanted to read for this, but I didn't know if it would fit into any of the prompts. And it's actually going to get to me in, I think, on the 1st. So I looked it up, and it was published in November of 2019. So definitely not a new release, but it was close to 2020. So I'm going to say maybe that might work. But anyway, whether it does or doesn't, I am going to be reading Ale of Two Cities by Sarah Fox. I read Wine and Punishment last year, I think, sometime, and bought a copy and absolutely loved it. And I love these covers. So I'm definitely going to be reading this next week, if not for the new release cover or prompt, because really it's not a new release. Just because I want to, and that's enough, right? So, but because I didn't really find a new release on any of my sites, I am wondering, and I'm asking you, if you read cozy mysteries, can you tell me of any cozy mystery new releases that are available on either Scribd or Kindle Unlimited that I could maybe pick up this week? Because I really don't have time to buy a book and have it sent to me if I'm going to read them for this readathon. So I need something quick that I can just download real quick, and preferably do not have to pay extra for. So let me know if you have any suggestions. And I am planning on vlogging, hopefully the whole month of July, but I will definitely plan on vlogging the week of the 1st through the 7th. So yeah, that is it. That is my TBR for Cozweek. I am really excited about it. Honestly, even though I found out about this kind of last minute, I have been really wanting to pick up a cozy recently and just hadn't gotten to one yet. So this gives me all the excuse in the world to pick up a lot of cozies. So let me know, are you participating in Cozy Week this year? If you're not, are you a cozy mystery fan? And what is your favorite author in a cozy mystery? And that is all. I will talk to you hopefully tomorrow for the mid-year book freakout tag, but we'll see how that goes because I'll be working a full day tomorrow in the office. Fun. All right. I'll talk to you later, friends. Bye.